is your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Ladies, gentlemen, if it's your first time checking us out, this is an entertainment-focused live stream from Big Rob's house. If you've watched our show before, you know that we do our live show in studio, multiple people, news focus. This is a little different twist for those of you that are new. We talk not so much crypto, but we have more of a conversation on personal growth, responsibilities, economic prosperity, money management, and basically motivating ourselves to make as much money as possible. So we got that dry powder, we got that cash to DCA in, because DCA is great, but if you really don't got that much money to put into crypto, well, what are you gonna do? We can sit here and talk about all the coins that are ready to pop off, but if you ain't got money to put in on it, it's pointless. So let's talk about how we're gonna make more money, what we're gonna do to take ourselves to the next level. All right, and life talk, and we will do a lot of Q&A here as well. So if you got something to say, make sure you drop it in the chat. Definitely we'll try to get to as many comments as possible. It is Sunday, my favorite day. I am amped up. We play music here. It's just a chill ass vibe. Chill ass vibe. That's what we do. If there is any projects you want me to go over, also, it's not strictly not crypto here. So if there's something you want to talk about in the crypto land, any projects you're a fan of or whatever it is, make sure you put that in the chat as well. Also, let's hit the like button. We got 18 likes in here. Not enough. I want to see if we can crack 200. I don't think I've ever cracked 200 on a Sunday rant and ramble. Let's see if we can break some records today. We're at 34 live viewers. It'd be amazing if we could do this. And then we'll make the whole team jealous, you know. You got Servando saying Pollo Loco. Oh, what's going on, Pollo Loco? And I do got the chat here at the bottom as well. So, all right. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I do want to give a little shout out to the chat here. So we got Raw saying Miguel, Pong, Mike Volmer, Leroy, Meanless, Alexander, Crypto Grady up in here. He was at the studio a couple days ago. Who else? Ding Dong Daddy, Rusty Bot, Chris Crypto, Servando, John, Web3 and me, Big Swole, Alexander G, DGen, Pelagic, Jason Mack, and I think that about rounds it out. If you haven't checked in yet, say hello so I can drop an hola back at you. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Man, what a great day today is, man. If y'all only knew the amount of shit that I deal with all day long, which is good. I purposely stack as much shit and responsibility as I can on myself. And it's hard to keep myself accountable and get everything done. But when you do get everything done, when you're just knocking things out one by one, man, how liberating that is. Like, how good it feels. So, you ever had like one of those productive days? Just imagine you had a productive week. You know, you have a day where you wake up, you're like, wow, man, I got so much done today. You know, you got, I don't know, laundry, cleaned some stuff, did some project you were waiting on. Just imagine if you took that little segment, that feeling, that productivity, but instead of having one productive day, you just knocked out a month. Like, imagine how much you would get done if every day was just grind, right? And so Sundays for me is a day to reflect. So Sundays for me, I look back, I'm like, all right, so what did I get done? And Let me turn this music down a little bit in my headphones. So Sundays, I reflect. What did I get done? And then I set my goals for the following week. It's a lot of goals. The last time we did a show, I said, hey, I'm going to do cardio. I'm gonna focus on cardio because I've been, I got a good gym routine in. This is one of my goals I've been working at. I was out of the gym game for a while, but I got back in there. And so one of my own personal goals was, hey, let me get back into the gym, and did that. And then last show I said, hey man, I'm gonna start doing cardio. I keep telling myself, that voice in the back of your head, like, I should do this, I should do that. Everybody's got a I should mentality, right? And so the more of those I shoulds that you convert over to I must, that's when you start changing your frame of mind. So, all right. Well, real quick, before I get too far ahead of myself, I do want to kind of go over the markets here. And Bitcoin is sitting right around that 29,000. Oh, right where it was all week, or the last few weeks. I think are we at a month now? Yeah, basically over a month at the 30K. And then if you take a look at the year, I wonder how long we've been here. 624. Dang. So about 5 to 6 weeks now at 30K. And I think that we are going to fall right in this same kind of general time frame. So here we traded at 20K from August to November, so 3 months. Here we had a 2-month consolidation where we went from around 16, 2-month consolidation around 22, 3-month consolidation around 26. And so right now we're about five weeks. So I think minimum we got another 3 weeks of consolidation, 3 more weeks of trading at 30,000, right? Or right around 29. And I think that within 2 to 3 months of consolidation, in the same way that you go back and just look at price history for 1 year. Oh, man, what happened to my camera? All right, anyways, let me reset my camera. I'll keep talking though. But right. Let's see if this thing gets back on. Oh, I got the regular battery in there. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Let me just swap a battery on my my camera. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I used my camera elsewhere, and so I had to put a regular battery in there. Forgot to put the cable one back in. All right, so let's get back at it. So I think 2 to 3 months is the consolidation window on Bitcoin. I don't see why this trend would break, and so another 3 weeks. What is going to happen in 3 weeks? Think about it. Within the next 3 weeks, what would happen, right? I don't see anything on the horizon in the next 3 weeks. There's gonna be nothing big, right? You never know. Things come out of nowhere, but nothing's gonna happen in the next 3 weeks to make this thing move. And so I think the natural traders and hodlers, they're going to, they're gonna jump in the next few weeks. All right, so taking a look at some of the other coins here. Ethereum 1800. It's so flat across the board here. Look, I mean, 24-hour volume, 0.07% on Bitcoin, less than 2% on ETH, and even XRP's up 1.3 or 0.13. So just, yeah, not much going on at all. So, all right. And let's see here. Play a little bit more music here. So, and then let's see here. Yeah, this is not much going on. Solana or Hedera up 8%. And then we do have Mance Harmon, one of the co-founders of Hedera, coming on the show. I'm not as sure what day he booked for, but if you are an H-Barbarian or a fan of Hedera, we do have the founder coming back on the show as well. We got a big lineup next week. I know that. And ApeCoin up 4% as well. All right, so I want to get into my first topic of conversation here, AI. But real quick, before I get into AI, actually. Oh, dang. Camera's out of focus now. Oh, these technical issues, man. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, what are you guys doing this week? You know, every time I do one of these shows, I always ask you guys, like, hey, what are you guys planning on doing? What are some projects, things that you weren't going through the motions to do? What are some things that you're planning on knocking out? Let me know. Put that in the chat. I think I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do just yet, but let me think about it. I got some. I haven't got a chance to game plan my week, but I want to know if what you guys are planning on doing. So all right. So we got 41 likes, pretty good compared, pretty good ratio, 57 live viewers. And we do have David in here as well. He says, happy Sunday, homies. And then MT Evo, Kush is my cologne up in here as well. You guys are telling me it's blurry. Yeah, I had to redo the camera there, but who else? We got XRP Belgium in here. He says, cheers. And then let's get Ola. Also, let's get, I know Mike Vollmer says he's traveling to New York next week, or traveling, to Colorado. And then you got airdrop hunt on new ecosystems, rebuilding the front end of a car. That's cool. And then we got Sucret just joined us as well. All right. So let's get a Ola chant going. I'm gonna put the first Ola here, and then you guys drop an Ola, and then we're gonna move into our first talking point here. So I wanted to talk about AI. Now, AI investments could soar to 200 billion by 2025, according to Goldman Sachs. So now, this isn't exactly crypto related, but you know, on Sunday's subject is about empowering you guys to make as much money as possible, to have as much capital on the side, and ignoring the trends of the market. You're going to leave money on the table, right? And so if there's a new pool of money that pops up, doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't call it a fad or a craze or whatever it is, but whatever the next market trend is, you guys have to start identifying this. If you're trying to be ahead of the game, get your piece of the pie. When it comes to a new sector of a market or an emerging market, there's a lot of money in there. People haven't established dominance yet, right? And like right now, like how much money are you going to make in the traditional stock market? if you were to just invest in, say, traditional companies. Like, let's just say you decided to invest in Exxon, right? Now, Exxon might perform well this quarter or whatever it is, but at the end of the day, you're not going to see any life-changing money. And unless you're allocating tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to Exxon stock, you're not going to see any substantial returns. If you're putting $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 or $5,000 into Exxon stock, it's not going to give you the returns in the short term that would give you the capital that you can use elsewhere, right? It's not going to springboard you. So if you're trying to generate a lot of capital, you're going to need to take a little bit more risk plays, and some risk plays are emerging technology sectors or emerging markets, and AI is definitely at the forefront. I think we had the initial boom, and then now the talk on AI is subdued, right? At first, it was Chat GPT. Look at these photos that the computers are generating, quantum computers. And now that is essentially kind of died down, right? It's not dead, but that euphoria that we had in those markets have subdued. Now is a good time to reevaluate, see who is left standing, because I mean, it's been about, I would say, 6 months of this AI boom. And with that said, now we're seeing who is taking market dominance, who to pay attention to, and what is the markets really looking for. So getting into this article, so Goldman Sachs saying that $200 billion by 2025 is going to pour into AI. Now, here's the article. According to Goldman Sachs, Joseph Briggs and Devesh Kodani, and so their investments related to artificial intelligence could climb to an astonishing $200 billion by 2025. The enormous economic potential and could potentially aid in global labor productivity. So those investments could amount to $200 billion globally, which will probably happen before adoption. So what they're saying is that before the entire globe is using AI. Now think about, if you're going to make money in telecom and like cell phones and in mobile communication, that money was made before every single person had or the real money was made before everybody had a cell phone. Like right now, everybody has a cell phone. This is what I was saying. You're not going to get a piece of that pie jumping in now, right? And so with AI, it's still relatively new. People have not put a position yet. Companies haven't went all in and put their positions in yet. And so there's a lot of loose capital floating around there, opportunity to make money. Also, this is technology that can leverage yourself to increase your worth, right? So I liken AI to a personal assistant. I liken AI to someone that can help. I use it on a daily basis, right? For my video editing, my graphics, my Photoshop. If I'm searching, sending out emails for proofreading, rewriting, it's an asset and a tool. And here's the thing. Remember, this is a zero-sum game when it comes to success personally, right? You're competing against everybody else for whatever you're going for, right? So let's just say, hey, I want a new job, right? Or I want a promotion, or I want a raise, or hey, I'm trying to get more customers into my retail shop. Whatever it is, you have competition, and so you need to beat the competition, and so you need to use all of your tools at your disposal. Now, those tools traditionally have been marketing, customer service. Now you have a third facet, and it's AI. Now, AI in itself isn't going to be a category, but AI is a tool that you use to boost everything up. Maybe you use AI to figure out where to put targeted marketing. Maybe you use AI to help proofread your emails to give you more of a professional appearance when having communication or trying to make deals. And for me, if you don't use this technology, it's no different than refusing to use the internet. You can look at all these brick and mortar restaurant or stores, companies, and the ones that chose not to use internet or leverage it to offer online services, online retail, or at least market online, they got left behind. And we're in the same position with AI, but with AI is for your personal use, right? Or just imagine if you personally didn't know how to send emails or upload a resume. You've seen the grandma and the granddad that are like, how do I put my email on here? How do I do this resume? How do I click this link? How do I create a LinkedIn? That is, yes, it's an extreme, but think about it. You think about these very elderly individuals that have no experience with the internet. Imagine them competing for a job. They stand no chance. You know, like if you're talking about computers and it's just, they stand no chance competitively speaking to somebody that has internet savvy, that's somebody that grew up in the internet age, that has been acclimated to it. And the same thing is here with AI, as I'm trying to tell you. It is that if you're not using AI, everybody else is. So if you're going out for a job and your job, you need to be generally knowledgeable, have general knowledge when it comes to computers and internet. If you're 70 years old and you just decided never to pick it up, you're probably not going to get that job. It's simple as that. And the same thing is going to pertain here. So AI is coming. Now, let's keep going this conversation going. So now those so Briggs and Kodani think AI investments could reach 4% of US GDP in the future and up to 2.5% of GDP in other nations. World's largest economy, aka the US, has the best chance to emerge as the global hub for such technology and could comprise around 50% of total investments. China, on the other hand, could become the main rival. Not surprising. Here's a graph on market interest on AI. You can see here, nobody even cared about AI up until about 2017, 2018. Little boom here. And this initial boom in AI was in regards to kind of the integration of AI, not the chat GPT, but just in back-end applications, in speech to text translations, things of that nature, face recognition, things like that. Now, look at this boom here. We went from this 8% here on market interest up to past 16. It's only growing. Also, we have some other news. This is just one of the first articles at the front center on CNBC. Robots are coming. Companies are building and looking for workers. And so both humanoid and non-humanoid robots are set to reduce employment in the years to come. This is what I'm talking about. If you are not preparing yourself to use this technology, you're going to be left behind. That's simple as that. And they are creating. The thing is this sector's creating jobs, right? So you're taking away low unskilled workers and replacing them with highly trained individuals that can operate AI software. That's essentially all it is, or that can build that software from the ground up. So I'll leave it at that. I don't really have too much else to mention on this subject, but I just I am waking up to the fact that, hey, it is time to get a position on AI. And if anything, even if you don't decide to use it, you need to research it. You need to see what companies are out there, because you need to be aware of what the competitors are using. This is the thing. You don't need to use TikTok. You don't need to use Instagram. You don't need to use Twitter or X. But if you run a business or a company, or you're trying to be successful, you need to know that you need to, those services exist. You need to know what they're doing in your market or your field, or how people are using them. Because if you stay oblivious, you're gonna lose at the end of the day. So All right, so let's just check in with the chat here real quick. Now we got Crypto Crabman in here, and he's talking about Solana phone. At 1 trillion, I'll eat my Solana phone. It's okay. Only works 65% of the time. And then we also got Sudin in here saying hi and hello. So hola to you. And then we got Neil as well. And then what else we got in here? Oh my freaking. So Architect, he says, does Elon hate ETH chain, or is it because he's a sore loser? You know, Elon understands his weight. So Elon Musk understands his pull and how impactful his statements are. And so you got to be very careful when it comes to the crypto space. Now, he has taken a liking to Dogecoin, and I think that he's probably a fan of other cryptos, but he just decides not to talk about it because he doesn't want to be responsible for giant moves in the market simply for speaking his opinion. But I do think he has a very strong opinion in a bullish way towards crypto and smart contracts. That's just my personal opinion. So, and then we also have Verdiri from Mexico as well. Anxiety said he got Saga. Not sure what that means. And then Harry Armpit says, have you no moral question for AI? Here's the thing. Does it matter? It's here, it's coming, it's going to take over. So whether or not I have a moral question for it, it was like when somebody invented the gun, right? When we went from swords to ammunition to bullets and guns and rifles, when we transitioned from that to the another, there's no going back. And so you could sit here and say, okay, only these people can have guns. Okay, these are the only companies that can make guns. Okay, government's the only ones. But here's the thing, like, you can't stop it. It's going to come, right? And so there are areas that it's a little bit more difficult to obtain a weapon, countries particularly. But the thing is if you want to get a gun, you can. And this is no different. It's the same way, like, hey, once the internet was invented, it's here to stay. It is what it is. So the same thing, AI is here to stay. Whether you think it's a good thing or bad thing for humanity, there is definitely positives. There are definitely potential negatives as well. But hopefully this space matures in a safe way. I would just say that. Now, you said, what does Rob do for work other than Sin City? I do mostly, I would say 95% of my income comes from crypto and from YouTube and this business. We do have if you haven't not familiar, we do have a live show that we do Monday through Friday, but I do have a side job as well, more of an hourly position in restaurants, but that's few and far between. Now, V says, do you think Hoskinson will wind up in jail? I don't know why you would make that reference. He's not under investigation. Could anybody end up in jail? Could you end up in jail? Could I end up in jail? Sure, yes. So is it possible somebody can end up in jail? Yes. And who people present themselves a lot of times isn't that person behind the scenes. Although I do believe Charles Hoskinson is pretty straightforward. I think he's a man of his word, but I've been duped before. But for myself personally, if you're looking for my opinion, I think he's a stand-up guy. I think he has the best interest for the crypto community at hand. And I know he's a very polarizing person, and people just don't agree with that. And when you have a big voice and you're loud spoken, you're polarizing, you're going to, one, make a lot of friends. Two, you're going to piss a lot of people off. It's just how it is. Take anybody that has a loud voice, take anybody that is outspoken. They either polarizing in a good or bad way. Just like you said, Hostas is no different than Richard Hart. Polarizing, loud, outspoken. They pick a name, Donald Trump. Just get one person that has a mic in front of their face, and they talk all the time, and they have big ideas and big plans. Any person, big ideas, big plans. They always have a bunch of haters and lovers. It's just who it is. It just depends on, do they push your button do they push ideas and thoughts on the side that you agree with, or do they push ideas and thoughts on the side that you disagree with? I would recommend that you step back and stop looking at people in a way that it's like, this guy's evil, this guy's great, this guy's amazing, listen to this guy, don't listen to this. Is like, the more subjective you can be as a person and remove your own personal emotion and digest the information that is given to you, the more you can make biased decisions, because I don't care who you are, you've believed somebody that has duped you, you've believed somebody and followed somebody that you trusted, and at the same time there were people that you did not trust, or people that you thought had misaligned intentions, and they ended up being someone that was there to help you, that took you to the next level. So if you keep a clear mind and you stop clouding your judgment by just throwing your personal emotions and saying this person is great or this person is bad, that is not a good way to live life. I'm not saying you can't live that way, and I'm not saying you can't have success, but I'm just saying that the less noise you have, the more you remove that fog, the more you can see people's real intentions, and you can make educated decisions on your own personal life path. So he says, Austin's case, massive ranch, private jet. But why does it, I'm just curious here. Why does it matter if he has a private jet? If you are a billionaire or a multimillionaire, more than likely you have a private jet, access to it. It's just part of business demands. A massive ranch. Okay. 6 new businesses all in 1 year. I'm not here to defend the man, but I'm just curious on why you think it is such an egregious situation to have these items, right? Because I'll tell you what, if I had $1 billion, I'd have a private jet. I would start as many new business ventures as I could, because I want to spread my information. I want to put the biggest stamp on this planet as I can while I'm here. I want to vibrate as much as I can. I want to cause a ripple in my time on this planet. I want to make as big of an impact. And so 6 businesses, hell yeah. Now, he said, if he truly, dude, you are something. If he truly believed in anything, he told you to be focusing on it, not hiding. Okay, I'm done talking to you, buddy. I'd recommend just chill, man. Chill. All right. David said, Rob, he's a troll. Ignore him. Yeah, I know. All right. So anyways, this is what I do. So we do a lot more Q&A on Sundays. So I get into it with the chat. We do our thing. All right. So getting into a little bit more lighthearted stuff here. So here is guys living in 3033. And so we got a dude here. He's got a hack here, you know. Got the burrito with a soft shell taco on the bottom, catching all the scraps there. So, all right, and then, all right. So I wanted to move this conversation over and just talk about, you know, what we normally talk about on Sundays: it's personal growth, development, things to work on with yourself, and you know why. And before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to discuss why do I focus on that? What are we talking about? And so, just a little backstory myself. You know, I think a lot of you might relate is that when I got into crypto, I was in a broken system, the traditional finance, and I was working a dead-end job. Or not, I don't want to say dead-end job, but I was working a job that realistically had no trajectory of sustainability, any real sustainability. So I wasn't projected to make enough money to live comfortably for me and my family, and yet still have some kind of time with my family, right? And so I sacrificed my time with my family, my loved ones, to work, which is fine. I think as a man, a lot of times it's your duty to go out, work as hard as you can, make as much money as you can to provide for your family. I think that's a very noble way of going about it. But if you're doing this, you should be making enough money to execute. And so myself personally, I found myself where I didn't have enough money to get by. I was living paycheck to paycheck, no savings, credit destroyed, almost lost my house a few times. And in doing so, I turned to vices like a lot of us do, drinking, hanging out, being irresponsible. And I turned to crypto initially, and it was because I was looking for a financial answer. And at the time, I hadn't really understood what money was. I didn't understand how to grow wealth, right? I didn't know how to increase my own personal value. And so initially when I got into crypto, I was like, let me put $500, $1,000, whatever it is, $200. Let me try to hit it big. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. I think that we go through life and we understand that we're falling short financially. And so we try to take shortcuts. And I think a lot of us got into crypto for that exact reason. Especially you start seeing your friends making money, you start seeing Bitcoin pop off, altcoins pop off, NFTs. It's natural human psychology to say, hey, I want a piece of that. And with that said, myself, I got burned. Now, I made some smart decisions. Ultimately, I made more money than I have lost. So that is a success. But I did realize in hindsight, just kind of looking at myself, is that I was ill prepared for money. I didn't have the right mindset to make more money, and I was falling behind. So anyways, if you're trying to get by in crypto, you're trying to make money here in crypto, you need more capital on the side. And so you need more dispensable income. And for myself personally, if I got $100 DCA every month, I want to make it 1,000. If I have 1,000, I want to make it 10,000. And I think most of you can agree, if whatever amount of crypto that you're buying, you'd probably like to allocate more capital to it. So to generate that capital, it's one of two things. You either generate more income or you spend less. And so that's what we're really talking about here. Now, spending less is pretty simple. You can just look at your expenditures, what you are buying, and what your monthly bills come out to, and you can pretty quickly figure out where you can make cuts or sacrifices. Now, what's a little bit more difficult, a little harder, is to increase your income. And so we can all sit here and say, hey, I want a raise, I want a job, I want to make more money. You ask somebody like, hey, what kind of car do you want? They'll always say something that's out of their price range. Hey, what kind of job do you want, or career? They always say something that is above and beyond where they're at, right? If I say, hey, what do you want to do for career? You never say what you're doing right at this exact moment, right? Unless you really have, hit your stride. But generally speaking, most people will say, hey, I want to be this. I want to work here. I want to get this done. This is what I'm aspiring to. Even myself personally, I'm in a good spot. I want to be, I have YouTube, I have success, but at the same time, I have some large goals that I'm trying to achieve, and these goals are grand. And as I said, I want to make as big a ripple as I can. So we got to figure out how to increase your worth, because you can't want these things without changing something about yourself, right? So if you want to change your income, your career, your path, your direction, you want a different outcome from your day-to-day activities, your life, well, you're going to need to change yourself, right? So if you want change, you cannot come about change without change, right? You can't have the same variables every day. You can't wake up, do the same shit, go to the bar, hang out with the same people, have the same work the same amount of hours and expect a different result. That's where the problem is with most people, is that they're too lazy to put in the work. And now they look for shortcuts. And that's where this kind of ties back into crypto. And so you don't want to work any harder. You don't want to you don't want to spend any less time with your vices and things that are fucking up your life. You know, you don't want to stop hanging out with your friends so much. You don't want to stop, you know, doing X, Y, and Z. I mean, you might enjoy that family time, but you know what? I'm sorry, but your family would probably appreciate you tripling your income versus tripling your time with them. That's just the reality of it. You want to be a good dad. You want to be a good father. You want to be a good mother. You want to provide for the family. The best thing to do is not to sit there on the couch and watch Dora the Explorer with your kids. The best thing you can do is put yourself in the best position possible to increase your wealth, so that way your family lives a better life. And people in crypto have ultimately, a lot of people in crypto, they come in and they don't want to change anything about themselves, and they're just looking to drop $1,000 on a crypto project or token, and then all of a sudden they're set, right? Hey, I put in 1,000, made 100 grand. I don't work anymore. I don't do anything else. I still hang out with my friends, and now I'm 100 grand richer. Life does not work that way. And so if you want to have that car, that house, whatever it is, you're going to need to just put in the freaking work. It's simple as that. And the problem is that most of civilization at this point has, due to technology and advancements and automation and robotics and the internet, jobs have become essentially easier, and it's easier to fuck off and just be lazy and get by, which for one is an easy trap to fall into. You can get stuck watching your TikTok videos, scrolling through those. You can easily find yourself hanging out with the guys at work or people after work at a barbecue. But at the end of the day, you gotta step back and get to work. It's time to grind. On one good side, a lot of lazy people out there. I would say 80% of the world is complacent, does not work at their full potential or capabilities. And then you have 10% of people, so 80% just not as productive as they should be. I'll put it that way. 80% of people, I would say 80% of the people in the chat, you probably say, you know what, I could do more. I slack off here and there. And you know what, I would like to get this done. You probably have a lot of shoulds. I should do this. I should do that. You say you're going to change this, and you don't. You make false promises, and essentially you're lying to yourself. And I think that's by 80% of people. Then there's now here's the thing. You can get by with that, and you can tell yourself you're living a happy, fulfilled life, right? You can have your house. You can be living paycheck to paycheck. You can have the mortgage paid. But at the end of the day, you're miserable when you go to work. You're irritated when you come home from work. You're only looking forward to that vacation. And you've kind of lost the direction or the drive to do something great, because you've just numbed yourself over daily activity of just going through the mundane routine. And so I encourage all of you, first of all, just to work as hard as possible. Just whatever the hell you're doing, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you work in a restaurant, if you work in a mechanic shop, you're a plumber, you're selling oranges. It doesn't matter. Just apply yourself, work hard. First of all, even if there's no monetary return in the short term there in that situation, doing that sets your mindset up to be more productive. And even if that productivity, if your production doesn't translate in that exact field, that exact job, or that exact task, that is gearing your life up to do this on a routine basis. Like myself personally, I wake up every morning, doesn't matter, I do the dishes, anything that's in the sink, I take care of my responsibilities, I make my bed. This does not pay me anything, but it gets my day going. I start to accomplish tasks. So that way, when I get to the other tasks, when I woke up and I've made my coffee, I've made the bed, I've done this, I've taken care of this, I've sent out my emails. Once all of those objectives are done, and they're only for my own personal routine. Once those are accomplished, when I get to the work related things, they're easy because I'm already in a flow. I'm in a rhythm. I'm already knocking these things out. And it's the same with work. If you're going to work and you're busting ass and you're doing the best job freaking possible, and you are proud of what you do, then that spills over to your next job, your next career, your life outside of work. And so, one, just outwork the competition because competition is lazy, and so that in itself is pretty easy. It's not like you go to work and everybody in there is busting ass, just killing the game, right? I think if any of us work at any company that has more than 10 people, you know what? 80% of the people are kind of just doing their job responsibilities, right? 80% of the people just come in, they clock in, they do their job, they might have a smile on their face, they're done. When it's time to clock out, they're done, right? They might go to the bar and complain about work, or they might be right there talking to their wife, they might complain about work, but it feels me. And with that said, competition is lazy, so majority of the competition, just by simple hard work, you're going to pass them. And then on top of that, I would just I would look to grow. Do not be complacent. Now, getting into the chat here, I'm going to kind of circle back. Let me play that one there. So we got Andre Brown says 20-year electrician, said free education. Okay. Yeah, and here's the thing, like, you don't necessarily, like, 20 years is dope. Like, you don't have to change careers, but no matter what you do, you should challenge yourself to grow, right? It doesn't mean you have to take a different position or start your own business, but you should challenge yourself to grow and increase your worth. For some people, it is to create their own business. For some people, it's become a CEO or a regional manager or whatever it is. But if you just go in and go through the process, life sucks. It does. You're going to end up hating yourself. Your people around you are not going to find you enjoyable to hang out with. And so I don't know. I would just leave it at that. And then now let's see here. What else we got? We got Dave Digital in here. SBF. He said, "What's on your arms? Bats, crows, and what else?" So I got all kinds of. I got like graveyard stuff here, basically skulls, crows here, bats over here, demons. It's I don't know. And I got some more stuff on my back, but spider webs and bat wings and trees. So what else I got here? And then New World Crypto says juggle side business, regular job. Worked as a lead spell checker at local M&M's factory. Okay, there you go. Make sure the M's are not W's, right? And Rudy Poo says belly's growing. There you go. So Anxiety says you sound like Jim Ron. Who's Jim Ron? I'm not sure who that is. And then Crypto No Tick says learn new things, improve yourself every day. Yeah, even if you don't learn something new every day, I would work on something every day. Work on your craft or skill. And you know, for myself personally, I like to build things. I like to work on things around the house. So I don't necessarily need to. As long as you just build on yourself, right? Either build on your knowledge base by learning, or build on your skill set by improving, or at least getting more experience. I would say that. And I would challenge yourself to try new things. And if you, it doesn't have to go to straight to work either. You know, you could, stay in one field, or, a lot of times people don't want to change necessarily complete career paths, but it doesn't mean that you can't be a little bit more experimental in hobbies, interests, and what you do outside of work, perhaps charitable time where you're going to help out in the community. So I definitely would encourage you guys to expand your horizons when it comes to things that you're doing, instead of just simply hanging out with the friends and hanging out with people that have vices. I would say that. So all right, guys. So I think that's actually gonna wrap it up for today. I know not, I didn't really get too deep down the rabbit hole on I didn't get too deep down the rabbit hole on personal improvement and stuff, but kind of kept it vague and broad today. And I think next week I'll have a list of things to kind of go over. But well, with that said, I do want to give a big shout out to Crypto Style. He says, well said. I haven't seen you before. Also, baseball and crypto. I think he's new to the channel as well. SBF, I saw you here earlier, or you've been here talking the whole time. But also somebody new, Anxiety as well. He says, what is one of your favorite crypto coins? I like Ethereum, man. I think Ethereum, super safe bet. And I think the potential for a return is about 10x if you got a 3 to 4 year time horizon. So Ethereum, I think it's just easily overlooked. Everyone's looking for small projects, but you know, $1,000 in with a 4 year time horizon will probably bring it back 10,000 realistically. And so I like that. I think that's great returns. If you guys want to YOLO into something a little bit more risky, you're obviously taking on more risk, more potential for loss. Kevin B says, later everyone. Also, Crypto Style, I haven't seen you before, so glad to see you join us. Also, guys, come check out our live show Monday through Friday, and for that, it is co-hosted by David, who was in the chat as well earlier. We have our other business partner, producer Rocco. So that's a very good fun time. If you want to talk a little bit more crypto and projects, that's definitely what that show is geared for. This is just more of a Sunday, just kind of hang out, just crap talking basically. Andre Bownen here as well. He said 8 coin to rule them all. And then Fed, he said Fed and TradFi. He said, oh, I just got here, but rewinding. Okay, cool. Well, when you get to this part, you're at the end. And thank you. And then who else? I saw a couple other new people in here as well. King Peasant, I know you've been here before. I haven't seen you too often lately though, but yeah. So anyways, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for today's show. Just wanted to give you a big thanks for joining us. It's always a lot of fun. Come check us out tomorrow, and we got a lot of things coming down the pipeline. So excited to share that with you next week. Gareth will be on tomorrow, so come by and check out Gareth. We're excited to have him. If you're looking for anything on prices, macro economics, as far as S&P movement, traditional markets, obviously we'll be talking Bitcoin and some altcoins. So come check us out there. Come support. Check us out on Sin City Crypto's Twitter handle at Sin City Crypto 1, and that is for Twitter/X. And until next time, guys, have a good